Hey, what's up, guys? This video is about knowing if you're a shaman or not. So, my understanding of it, I feel like I'm a shaman. I feel like it's been in my bloodline. I've done psychedelics and I've gotten the answers. Like, I've seen that my bloodline has done psychedelics for a long time. I come from an indigenous bloodline, so my bloodline has done, smoke tobacco, smoke weed, done all these psychedelics and plants to connect to higher beings and spiritual stuff. So what I've understood is that, like, maybe some of us aren't meant to be sober. Like, I understand that, like, it's a very controversial topic, but if you see, there's a lot of lost people who get lost in drugs and heavy drugs with no purpose. They just, you know what I mean? A lot of us, we got to be realistic. All of us do something. We drink, is whether it be alcohol, whether it be smoking, well, whatever. You know what I mean? Everybody has their vices, even gambling, all this shit. So instead of making it a recreational thing, why don't we make it a spiritual thing where we can grow from it and achieve greater things and points of views and help other people? You know what I mean? Be more empathic, love each other, you know what I mean? And in a positive way, of course. Like, but yeah, like the point is how to know if you're a shaman. Like, if you like love substances, like if you feel like you can't live without them, maybe it's because your bloodline is from an indigenous background. Like, a lot of people can't handle drugs and, like, you know what I mean, substances the way some of us can. Like, a shaman will handle these things differently. Like, it will affect our mind, it will make us sharper, you know what I mean? Even if it like, you know what I mean, it's different for everybody. Like, we all have stress, we all have ways of dealing with things, and it's just very personal, very to the point. So if you're a shaman, you basically need these substances. You don't need them in the high doses that other people do them at, though. Like, so for example, if you see like normal people doing this shit, they abuse the drugs, they abuse this shit. Like, I smoke a lot personally. That's my only vice that even God has told me I have to chill out on, and I have a lot. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Sometimes you can't abuse substances, and you gotta like chill. You gotta use it at the right measure, because these things are medicine. They're to be respected, right? And as shamans, we need these substances to either calm down in certain points, because our minds work in different dimensions. So like, you're thinking here, but you're also thinking in another dimension, connecting to spiritual beings and all this type of shit, and like seeing energy, you know what I mean, and seeing how people move in another, you know what I mean, level that like a lot of people wouldn't understand. But like, it's a gift, you know what I mean? That's why we need our medicines and our self-medication. Like, shamans, as shamans, we know what we need. Like, whether it be, you know what I mean, like, the shamans that are lost might take Percocets, might take Xans, right, instead of us smoking weed, or maybe herbs that will calm us down. It's just because we have been taught wrong, you know what I mean? It makes sense that we're dependent on substances. It's just that the substances they're giving us are not healthy for us, you know what I mean? Instead of having these negative substances that ruin our lives and make us dependent, why don't we popularize herbs again? Why don't we figure out ancient medicine and like ancient things that our ancestors used to do? And it's why we're attracted to all these different mind altering states, you know what I mean? Because if you're real about it, you know there's something about it, there's something that it makes you feel comfortable, whatever, you know what I mean? And like, sometimes, like, instead of taking medication from a doctor, why don't we just self-medicate, you know what I mean? Why don't we, like, for example, I was prescribed with bipolar disorder and some bullshit, you know what I mean, and a chronic depression, so I get like super depressed every 2 years. And when I was taking my medicine, it was the worst time of my life, you know what I mean? But once I started, like, I overdosed one time when I was like 16 on my medicine, and I stopped taking everything, all type of pills, because pills are really fucking horrible for you, you know what I mean? they will ruin your life. And like my moods were crazy. I actually felt depressed. And once I stopped, like my life has only improved. Like my emotional state, my mental state. I've gone through tough shit, but it's always made me a better person, and I haven't lost my mind in a way. Like I could tell the true intentions of people, so it saves me a lot of bullshit and like fake energies. Like, you know what I mean? I don't need to be around that. And like that's the gift of being a shaman. Like you can tell through you can see through shit. You're like living in 2 dimensions at once, basically. And like that's maybe why substances help.